caring. The double standard, the double-edged sword, just like any other word in this world, caring is another word that can mean many different things. It can go many different ways. The caring that I'm talking about, though, there is a bad side to not caring. There is a bad side to too much caring too. But the side that I'm talking about, and what I have noticed lately is, for myself, this is what I've noticed in this world. The quality of people, places, and things. The quality of people, places, and things has been considerably going down and down and down. More and more that I look around at things and I hear people talking about what they talk about and the way that they live. It's like people I live around, people that I hear on the internet. You know, there is this side of us where we say, I don't care about anything, and I don't care about other people, and I don't care what happens and all this. Well, there is a big downside to that also, when you don't care about anything. But then when you care too much, there's also a downside. But we have to care while we're here about some things, because see, what happens when we don't care about anything is nobody's being responsible for anything. No one's being held accountable. The quality of things just goes down, down, down. And people get worse, worse, worse. And before you know it, we're in a position where nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares about anything. And do you see how bad that is when nobody cares? When nobody cares about other people, nobody cares about their living situation, nobody cares that they're a dirt ball and they leave all their junk and all their filth sitting around. Nobody cares that they piss on the toilet seat. Nobody cares to clean up after themselves. Nobody cares to keep their room clean. Nobody cares about anybody else. Do you see how bad this is? See, this is, you know, if you're someone like me, this is why I talk about neutrality so much. This is why I talk about the double-edged sword, the double standard of everything that you and I know, because it isn't just one way. If you're somebody that says, quit giving quit giving a fuck about what everybody thinks and what the rest of the world is doing. Yes, I agree with that on many different views and ways of going about seeing it. You see, I agree with that with a lot of things, but then there is a side of it that I don't agree with it. So I really can't state something like that, and it's gonna be interpreted differently by everybody. And if the volume's messing up, the wind's blowing a little here, so just bear with me if you can. But yeah, this kind of not caring, I'm telling you, I see it in so many of us when, see, there's a time to not give a shit. There's a time to quit caring so much. There is a time to say, look, I'm worrying about something that I have no control over. I'm letting my worry get the best of me. I'm caring way too much about something that I really can't change. You see, that kind of not caring is fine for me and other people. But I noticed the quality of people just going down and down and down, and the quality of people, places, and things, it's just getting worse and worse because nobody's held accountable. Nobody is responsible for themselves. Nobody cares about anything, you know, and when it gets to that point, there's gonna be problems. And then people become their own problems, you see. And like I said, the people that will stick around on this channel will be quality people. And when I say quality people, I mean people that are responsible for themselves. I mean people that they understand when I'm talking about them, it's a mi casa su casa thing. I'm doing the best for myself while I can, and that's what you're doing. And you understand that you literally are the problem and the solution. You literally are the thing that is happening here. It's just like the saying with the Michael Jackson song. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him, her, to change her ways. If you don't change, then nothing is going to change in the world. You see, if we don't change as people, if we don't change our attitudes towards life, or we don't change the way that we're living, or we don't change something about ourselves, then we're going to remain in that spot. And I'm not saying that it's always time to do that. I'm not saying that everybody has to change everything about their lives, because sometimes it's better to do nothing. It's better to just sit and let things happen how they happen. Sometimes we can't, excuse me. Sometimes we can't do a damn thing about our situations. Sometimes you have just got to go through the storms in your mind. You have got to let that thing just play out. It comes. It's okay. It's gonna happen to every one of us for the rest of our lives. You know, you have things happen. Let it be what it's gonna be. Let it play out. You're gonna have days where the storm is going on in your head. We're gonna have days where we're not feeling it. Today for me is one of those days. I'm not really feeling it today, but I know I have to go. I'm walking to the store to get exercise. I got to get milk for my coffee. I'm moving. I'm not just sitting there staying stagnant and letting those thoughts get the best of me, you know, and letting it just get worse and worse and worse. And this is what a lot of us do. We just sit there and we keep thinking about the same thing, and we try to do something about it, but sometimes you just can't do anything but move. And there's a time to care and there's a time not to care. But when I hear people saying it in this manner, where they just don't care about anything, they don't care about how they live, they don't care about how they keep themselves, they don't care if their house is a wreck, or they you know, do whatever they're doing. They just don't care in that manner. See, these kinds of people, they literally are their own problem. They are the problem on this earth while we're here. And if we're not being responsible, and we're not taking an honest look at ourselves, and we're not calling ourselves out on our ignorance, nobody's going to do it, because there's so many cowards out here and on the internet and in your life. They're not going to call you out. They're not going to tell you this shit, because they're good at hiding. They're good at putting on the mask of denial. They're good at hiding behind the illusion of everything's good when it's not good. And I'm sick and tired of this shit. I won't live that way. I don't care if the rest of the world wants to do that. Hi, bye. Have a great life. Bye. See ya. You know, it's just, this is what it's coming to. It's to the point where you realize how people are causing some of their own problems. I'm not saying every little problem here. I'm talking about some problems. And this isn't a video to start blaming people. It's just a video for all of us to recognize what it is that we do every day. It's to recognize the reason why we get into the stuff that we get into. Why do we feel the way we do? What do we keep doing to ourselves to keep going through those kinds of things? And, to switch the topics, because I got a couple things I want to talk about, it's just like, I know for me on this channel, I can't give advice. I never trust me. Never trust me. I don't have any advice. I can't make anybody do anything. I am simply a guy that is talking on the internet, on my phone, to myself, walking. And it's just a coping mechanism. That's all it is. It's just for me to cope. This channel is simply a way to cope. And I put that out there for other people to hear, to cope in their lives. But you see, when something is going wrong, or you're having a storm in your head, or something in your life doesn't make sense, or you're looking towards other people for an answer, or saying, how do I get out of this? Like, I don't want to live this way. You have to look at yourself. You got to look at the person in the mirror. It's got to be this thing. You can't expect others to get you out of those kinds of things. You can't expect people to have an answer, because most people, they're not even looking into these kinds of things for themselves at all. They're just obliviously living life. They're just obliviously not caring about anything but the things that they specifically want. They don't care if they make a wreck of something. They don't care if they're doing whatever, ordering 10 burgers and eating one and throwing the other 9 out. They don't care that animal died for them to eat. They don't think about this kind of shit at all. Some people don't think, and that's why a lot of us are so ungrateful. We're so ungrateful for things because, see, people that are ungrateful, it's this thing where I wrote something in my notebook and I forgot what I wrote, but if you don't remind yourself of the things that you're grateful for, you're going to lose sight of all of this very fast. I know that's how it is for me. I'm not talking for anybody else. I'm just saying for me. If I don't stay focused on the little things that I have, like food, shelter, a bed, a chair to sit in, shoes to wear, a sink, a toilet, a shower, my car, my medication, everything that I have that I need, if I lose focus on those things, it's gonna go eerie. It's just going to, your mind just starts thinking of all these things that you want and you don't have, or all of these things are unfair in life because I don't have them. And it's all really just attachment. It's just attachment to our desires. It's like, yes, we all desire shit here. We all desire stuff here, y'all. But when we're letting that run our lives, when we're letting our desires run everything in our lives, our feelings and our desires and our attachments, these things will get you into big trouble in Little China. I'm telling you. This is why the Buddha said, you gotta let go of attachments. Attachments are our problem. And it's true. I mean, it's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of the things I say. But when you realize these things, I'm telling you, you will see things in a different manner. You will look at things in a different light. See, some people might see this channel as too much, depressing. It's just way too much for my mind to handle. That's because I go against everything that we've been conditioned to think. You see, I go against the grain of everything that we were taught when we were younger and all the lies we've been told, because we've been lied to. We've been lied to about so many things. I'm not saying everything in this life, but there's a lot of shit that we've been lied to about. It's the good illusion. It's the illusion of good. You see, they tell you all these good things, but see, what they don't tell you, see, the things they don't tell you, they keep hidden, and they lie about it, and they put on the front and the mask and the facade. And that takes energy. That takes wearing the facade for people. I don't have it in me to do no more. I literally don't have the energy. And even if I did, I don't want to do it anyway. I made up my mind to not be like a lot of other people are with their thinking and how they go about living life. You know, I just won't do it for myself. And I know I'm going to be by myself a lot because I realize there's a lot of other people, they don't live this kind of lifestyle. They don't think the way that I think about things. And I have to just say, okay, well, that's the way that it is. I mean, as much as I may see it a certain way, or I might not be able to cope with it sometimes I just got to let it be what it is, because people are going to be people. People are going to do what people do. And I have absolutely no control over that at all. And maybe that's what I am doing, you know. Maybe I want to see the best in people. And when I see them not doing their best with their lives, it kind of bothers me, because I say, you don't have to be living like that. You don't have to keep treating yourself the way that you may be treating yourself, you see? Because I know how I treated myself in the past. I know how when I was in my addiction and other things, I just did not care about nobody but myself. It was just about, how do I get the next bag of dope? How do I get high? I didn't give a shit what I had to do. I didn't care how I had to get money to do it. I didn't care about nothing but me. But I still had principles that I went by. I still had dignity in me either way. You know, I could have stole from my mom hundreds of times, but I never did. And I was dope sick and I didn't steal, but I did. I stole from people. So it doesn't justify anything. It doesn't matter if I did the right or the wrong thing. It's the past, it's over with, and there's nothing to justify it. It's out of my control. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's like we have got to quit saying to ourselves, you know, I don't care if people don't give a shit about what the rest of the world is doing or what the rest of the world says or thinks about them. For me, I don't care if they do that, but I know if they're living in a way where they say, I don't care about nothing or nobody, I'm going to step on this guy's toes to get the thing I want, to get my desires. I'm going to spit in this dude's face to get this thing. I'm just going to live in a way where I live filthy and I don't clean up after myself. I don't care what I'm eating, and I'm 500 pounds and I'm about to have a heart attack. See, all that you're doing is you're damaging yourself and you're damaging other people along the way. That's all we're doing when we do these kinds of things. And this is what all of us need to hear. It's not just some people out there. You see, I'm willing to speak to the whole world as a whole. I'm not willing to be a coward and say, oh, this is for us, but not for them. For those of you who are here, I appreciate you, but all them other people, you know, they're just nothing. You see, I don't look at it like that. I say this to everybody as a whole. I'm not singling anyone out, but yet, how can I not be? I have to live here with people. I have to live on this planet with human beings. And when I see my fellow man and I see my fellow woman doing things that they don't even realize that they are literally the destruction in and of themselves, and they don't realize that, then it's something that bothers me, because I know all about those things. I've been through those things. I lived with them things. And them things, they're just not good things. I mean, I don't really know how to put it, but I see, I didn't want to start, because see, I get too deep with stuff, and I can't help but to get deep, because like I said, I'm a deep guy. I can't lie to people. I can't put on this thing for people. I can't put on the illusion of everything's good and tell you something that I don't even live by, you know? Thanks, bro. So I can't do that with people. I can't sit here and put on a show for you and act like something I'm not and speak about things that I don't live by myself. You know, do I act a little bit crazy? Do I do random things? Yeah, I do, but I know what I'm doing. You see, I have control. I know not to push things too far or not to do anything at all. And most of us, we don't have that kind of moral compass. We may not have that moral compass in us where we don't know when we're pushing the envelope too far or when we're not doing enough for ourselves and other people. And this is what is causing a lot of these unnecessary things, this unnecessary drama, this unnecessary happenings that happen because we're not responsible for ourselves, because we're not looking at our own lives. We're not looking at our own ignorance. You know, we're not looking at the man or the woman in the mirror. You are the only one that can change things while you're here. Nobody else. Yes, we're all going to live and we're all going to die. You know, we're all going to go through life. But do you want to go through life being a wrecking ball for yourself and others? Or do you want to kind of be the tough love kind of guy? The guy that confronts people, the guy that doesn't stay hidden from the world, the guy that confronts your own bones in your own closet, the guy that speaks up when necessary, the guy that is honest, the guy that has some kind of integrity even though he's a crazy nut. You see, it's if you learn to do that, it's like something like Jordan Peterson said. He said something like, be a beast but control it. Be an animal. Be obsessed with something but be able to control it at the same time. You see, that's how I think. Because it's kind of like I say to myself, go hard responsibly. You see, don't just go hard. I wouldn't tell people, oh yeah, go hard at everything you do. Step on everybody. It doesn't matter. Get to the top to get money. Nah, see, that's what fools do. Ignorant idiots do that kind of stuff. People that ain't using their brains do that kind of stuff. And there's so many of those people. There's too many of those people that they use the money for ignorance and violence and to bring other people down. They don't use money as a tool. You see, any money that I get on this channel, any donations I get, any profit that I get on this channel, I'm using that as a tool to provide for something that I need or something for this channel, something to help myself. And then I'm a living testimony to that because I'm showing that. I'm talking about that on camera. And that's the energy that I put out. So why in the world, why would anybody run from someone like me or hide or do anything when I'm really saying it for how it is? Because they might not be willing to do that for themselves yet. But I say, why are we going to keep letting that fear and that ignorance and all these things hold us back? Why would we keep living that way? It makes no sense. It's stupid. It's like fools doing foolish things for fools. I wrote something in my notebook, the three fools. It's fools acting ignorantly for fools. Fools doing other foolish things for other fools. That's just how it is today. And like with quality, it's the same thing with quality. It's like when the quality of a person goes down, then the people around that person, their quality also goes down, because most people are just following, imitating, trying to be like everybody else. See, when the quality of a person goes down, everything goes down. You see what I'm saying? When your quality of life goes down, everything goes down with it. But then we all blame everybody else. We all, we all get on somebody else's shit instead of getting on our own shit. I need to start getting on my own shit, because it's me while I'm here. It's not even you or those people out there. It's me. And see, this is what most people don't want to confront. They don't want to confront the very thing. The very thing that, if you're looking for something, it's right here. It's right here staring back at you in the mirror. But yet you're going to have days where you don't even want to deal with this thing. You don't even want to deal with this vessel. You don't even want to deal with yourself some days. I know how that is. I know how the human mind works. But it's just, when you see the quality of music and the quality of people and the quality of people, places, and things going down, everybody is going down. And then everybody is looking for someone to do something because they're not doing anything. And then it's this blame game, judging game. Oh, it's all their fault, but it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me at all. I'm not involved with that. See, when you really get honest with yourself, you realize you can't exclude yourself from this. You can't exclude yourself from this. It's impossible. I can't exclude myself from, what is happening in the world. I don't have control over what is happening, but I can't exclude myself from the world because I'm here. I'm on this planet with other people. And, it's like I said, it's kind of like a tough love approach. A soft approach just does not work with a lot of people. Does a plane land soft? I mean, yeah, it might seem like it's landing soft. That's not a good metaphor, but, see, I'm willing to make mistakes. Even when I'm going to tell you something metaphorically, that didn't make too much sense. But what I'm saying is, if you as a person, the quality just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and we're not really doing anything, and we're just letting everything go to shit, then that's how everybody's going to be. And then we wonder why everything is like that. We wonder why we go places and it's like, oh, all those people, them people, look at them people, they're not doing anything. More than likely, that means that you and I are not doing anything when we're saying that to another person. And even I get caught up in this hypocrisy. I even call myself out in these videos a lot because there's days where I don't really do nothing either. But I still hold myself accountable. I still call myself out, and I say it how it is. I'm not putting on the mask or the facade for people anymore. And if that doesn't break away, then what does that say to us as people? If we can't break away from that, then we're still in bondage to that, and we're not free from that. So then we wonder why we call ourselves slaves and we call ourselves all these things. I understand the people that are at a job and you don't like going to that job and you got to go there to survive. I don't blame you for complaining. I absolutely understand where you're coming from. But when we're talking about the things that we do in our spare time, that's a whole nother issue. That's a whole nother game that we're playing. And most people, they don't want to do nothing to change anything about it. They don't want to do anything. And it's just like, see it for what it is, move on from it, learn, and move on with your life. It's like, what else can you do? It's all a coping thing. But a lot of us, we're not coping. See, we're not coping here. We're doing ignorant things to cope. We're fighting ourselves. We're we're doing all of these things to ourselves to deal with life, but it's not a healthy way to deal with life, is what I'm saying. And I'm telling myself all of this stuff, you know. I don't have an answer for anybody. I can't tell anybody this. I can't tell anybody to do this. I can't make people do anything. All I can do is remind myself of it every day and be a living testimony unto that, because that's how I really live. That's all I can do. And I know my words, you know, it might seem like I'm desperate because I do a lot of these videos and things like that. Sometimes maybe I am desperate with things because I'm a person. I'm a human being that has a brain, just like everybody else that listens to these videos. But I don't do it to sound or seem desperate. I do it because it's what I have to do to cope. And that's why I'm doing it. It's just simply to cope and be responsible in my coping. So that's what it is. I'm going to the store to get some milk and walking here. The reason I keep walking back and forth is because the highway's way too loud. So I don't want to walk and do the video on there. But yeah, I'll let y'all go. So yeah, I don't really know how to end the video or what to end it with, but yeah, we got to start looking at ourselves, you know, while we're here. We got to stop blaming the world and saying it's everybody else's fault. We got to start looking at the person in the mirror here. Ain't nothing gonna happen until you look at that person. And that is the most ignored person in this world, is the person in the mirror. It's the most ignored person in the world. It makes no sense. You know, we're with us. We live with us. We have to deal with us. We eat the things we eat. We do the things we do. We have to wake up with us. We have to live with us. We have to go to sleep with us. We have to do everything we do. So if we're not taking care of us, but at the same time saying, I don't give a shit about that dumb shit, I know what that stupid stuff is. See, it's always the double-edged sword. There's always a double standard there staring us back in the face, but do we see it, is what I'm trying to say here. So thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. I'm out, y'all. Later.